He's a comedian who can make you laugh not only in English, but French, Punjabi, and Hindi. After winning over audiences in Quebec with record-breaking shows, Sugar Sammy took his comedic skills to Europe in 2016, where he went on to sell more than 45,000 tickets across the continent and even won the award for Best Comedian. Here to talk about it all is Sugar Sammy.
Yes.
Welcome, Sammy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much.
Okay, what a year you've had. Parisien magazine called you the best in comedy. And I gotta say, we were just talking before we were interrupted by the TV show.
By television.
You know, when I've gone to France and I've ordered a glass of wine in a cafe and I order in French, in my best French, they can sense I'm not Parisian and they switch to English. They get very offended.
Yeah.
What's it like being a comedian from Montreal who goes over there and is not quite French de France?
Yeah.
And what's the reception like? Well,
Well, it's good. I had to really do my research. So it's a lot of anthropological work. So I had to sit down, observe them, listen to them, you know, be a victim of the French while I was there. And that made me really rise up to the occasion and write a show that was totally for France. So it was my perception as an Indo-Canadian from Montreal about France. And they get a kick out of it because I roast the French, you know, and, and I do it in their accent and their language. And it's good. I have to adjust. I don't totally go into the French accent, but it's an international French. We were talking off air.
Yeah.
So it was like Radio Canada.
Radio Canada French.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference between French crowds and, say, a hometown crowd?
Well, French crowds, first of all, they're very self-conscious.
Are they?
They are. They don't want to show you that they don't come to laugh, they come to judge. Like they come to judge you and judge the show. And they're there to make sure that it doesn't go well. So they're the toughest audience. I even told them, I said, you are the toughest audience I've ever had in my career, and I've done Saudi Arabia. I told them, I said, if I had to rank them, if I had to rank them as the toughest in the world, it'd be Paris, then ISIS, then Saudi Arabia, and they get a kick out of that. They know they're tough.
Now, when you first wanted to do a bilingual show back in 2012, you wanted to do English and French, it was met with skepticism. You ended up doing it, and it ended up being the most successful show in the history of the province.
Yeah.
What did you learn from that? What do you think people appreciated from that?
I think it was great. I think it was fun to...
you just kept adding show after show after show.
Yeah, I wanted to do maybe like I thought it was going to be an exercise. We'd do maybe a one-week run, and we'd get out everybody who was interested in a bilingual show. Because it wasn't just a bilingual show, it was a bicultural show. That's the thing. When you look at it, Quebec and Canada, you know, they go well together, but they are different cultures, you know? Like, and the thing is, finding those two cultures and finding that bridge between them, I think that was fun. And it was great to see Montrealers come out and Quebecers come out and appreciate that. And I think that was fun. Is
that what you wanted people to get out of that show? Because identity politics is a hot-button issue in Quebec, probably as much today as it has been in the past, but less so about separatism. But identity politics, front and center. And so do you view humor as sort of a tool to bridge that gap?
Well, I just wanted to represent who I was. I think I'd never seen that in Quebec. Like, you'd see comedians who were Francophone comedians who talked about, you know, being Quebecois and then took on the separatist point of view. And then you'd have Anglo-Canadian comedians or American comedians who would do it in English. But you never had someone who was a federalist who did comedy in both languages for Quebec audience. And I was like, that's who I am, and I want this to be represented because there are more people like me. So it was really like a coming out of the closet for a bunch of us.
You know, I love talking to comedians about sort of being a comedian in the age of social media, because I gotta think it's different today than it was a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
What makes it different for you?
Well, it gets heated pretty quick, you know? Like, there are certain buzzwords that trigger outrage all the time. I think people also on social media sometimes like to watch comedy going, okay, how can I find the outrage in this? You know? So for us, it forces us to become better writers. People go, is it tougher? I go, no, it's more challenging, but it's better because it forces me to bring my A game and to make sure that every joke is funny. Because the funnier it is, the more people forgive it, you know? Forgive it if it's racy. So I tell people, come to my show, you'll probably get offended, you know, at something, but you'll walk out laughing. You know?
And people can get offended on your North American tour that you're about to go on. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And we appreciate your time, my friend. Great to see you.
Thank you.
All right.